Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for wherever you are. My name is James Hunter, and beside me, I have the wonderful trichologist. Her name is Miss Pearl Bailey Anderson. And what we're going to do today, my friends, is take the time to introduce to you um, the trichology information as it relates to hair loss. And what Miss Pearl will do today is to help each and every one of you have the ability to visually see and be able to identify some, not all, but some of the types of male pattern and female pattern baldness that exists today. But not only be able to identify it, but also be able to articulate that information to the client, which will allow you to build up your revenue and build another stream of income. So let's not take up any more of your time. Let's get right to it. Beside me is Miss Pearl Bailey Anderson, who has invested a lot of time and money into her professional knowledge in the trichology area. So tell me a little bit about yourself that I did not say.
Well, I'm a salon owner. I have a business at 3857 Lancaster Avenue in Philadelphia, PA. Our zip code is 19104, and our phone number is 215-387-8232. We also have a website that you can visit. It's lapearlbeauty@gmail.com is our email, and thepearlbeauty.com is our website. You can visit that. You could also, while looking on there, you could see more information about our trichology programs and the posters and things that we offer for retail that we have. So I don't want to do too much talking about me because we want to get right to it. We want to actually just let you know why we're here.
Right. So actually, Miss Pearl came to me and she said, James, I would really like to help a lot of cosmetologists be able to help their clients who are suffering from this problem, because it is a huge epidemic, especially in the Black community, with all the different types of services, hairstyles, weaves, dreads, and it's a lot of things, our eating habits and so forth, which Miss Pearl will get into later in the series of these webinars. But I was speaking with her earlier before we came on, and she shared with me that the first step in being able to recognize this is what?
First step is an evaluation.
It's an evaluation.
And I was just thinking, how we are about to do this presentation and information that people need.
Right.
But the first sign of doing a consultation is the evaluation.
Well, share with me so that I can become more acquainted with knowledge, as well as the viewing audience. Why is the evaluation so important?
The evaluation is very important because it's the first sign of any type of loss. It's important because you'll get to know more about your client, what the hair insults, what the scalp insults are, and why they're losing their hair. So with being able to do that, you're able to visually look at the client's hair and scalp. And there are tools that we're going to talk about later on that are used as a trichologist. But if you're not interested in going that far, we are talking today about the basic understanding of hair loss and how to identify them. The evaluation is where you start.
Well, I have been around the country in different places, and I've always heard professionals talk about evaluation. Okay. And would you say that evaluation in the hair loss side or the hair loss industry is probably 50% of your workload right there is the evaluation?
I truly believe that 50% of the consultation is the evaluation portion, because you'll find out more about that client. As I said earlier, you'll find out more about what's going on with their scalp, and even things that they may not have put down on the evaluation form, they'll be able to tell you by you communicating with that client.
And because now I've heard some people in that side of the industry say that they have earned in excess of I heard one gentleman say it was over $8,000 in 1 year just from evaluations.
And that's probably true because evaluation depends on how strong you are in the industry, how well your evaluation is going to be, and how valuable it'll be to you as well as to your client.
So in the evaluation, what are some of the terminologies or the things that our viewers should understand and have a better grasp of?
The terminologies of the evaluation would be more about the insults that are dealing with as far as your client. It depends on what your client is coming in with. They're coming in telling you they're either losing their hair or they're going bald, or they're having scalp issues, or their hair is breaking. So it depends on exactly what they're telling you. You know right off the bat what you should be doing, how you should approach that evaluation. You don't waste time approaching evaluation if it's something that you can visually see by using a scope.
Well, tell me something. If I was sitting and I had a client, what are some of the things that I need to look for, or what are some signs that I could see? Do you have any kind of slide or picture that can show me?
Yes, we do. We do. We could start our slide by just letting you know. And our slide, this particular slide is just telling you about visually what you can see. Right. So when this person comes in, there are two things that you can visually see. And it's alopecia areata, but it's also male pattern hair loss. The reason why you know it's alopecia areata because he has round patches in several areas, even the areas that he's losing hair. Mm-hmm. So we have this person. He has male pattern balding, and he has recessive hairline. Oh,
he has a receding hairline.
Yes.
Okay.
So with his recessive hairline is another sign. So there are different signs. Some people may come to you at a later date. Some people may come to you at an early stage. And this person is in their early 20s. And then this lady, she has female pattern hair loss. So she has female pattern balding. And so with that, what we talk about the terminologies, we are talking about the FPD, FPB.
That's a tongue twister.
That's the acronym for female pattern balding. Right. So when you talk about this, you're talking in terminology that the client may ask you, well, what do you mean by that? Well, what is that? And then you can further tell them. So most of the time you want to start off as the professional. As you go to your doctors, they'll give you information about things. And then you'll say, can you put that in layman terms? Clients will do the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And these are just some of the things and the ways that you can find out more. This is also visual. So in visually, we talk about the parting.
So why is that important?
Well, the parting is important because then you would know whether they're losing their hair and what stage they may be losing their hair in. The other thing about parting, when you part the hair, you're actually seeing any intrusions in the hair or the scalp. So when I mean by the scalp intrusions, I mean by any insults that may be going on in the scalp areas that may be flaky buildup or edema or ethema.
You know what? Just that alone, that gives me a different perspective on if the scalp is not in good condition, then you're not going to have hair growing out.
Well, that leads us to our next slide.
Okay. All right.
Which
I'm ahead of you, huh?
Right. Yes, you are, but that's okay.
All right.
With this slide, it talks about miniaturization. Miniaturization is a part of male pattern balding and female pattern balding, because the hair, as you can see, the hair and scalp, what the difference in the hairs that are thicker and the difference in the hairs that are smaller. Without your scope, using a microscopic handheld scope, you're not going to be able to see this. So this is not one of those that you can actually see, but it's just giving you some information about what is actually going on with that scalp and why they're losing their hair. So then when you talk to your client, you can use the terminology miniaturization. And then you'll understand what that means. If you have pictures like we have on our posters, you can also show them what's the difference. And so that makes you more credible.
Okay. So you actually have, oh wow, now this is pretty neat.
You actually have what?
This is a butterfly look.
Yes, it is. It's still
This-
alopecia areata.
So now we have seen, what, 3 or 4 different slides
Yes.
with alopecia areata.
Yes.
And
And there
there's
are different
types.
Exactly. There are different types of alopecia areata. And you may not see this
Mhm.
particular one on a regular basis. This is very rare. But when you have a client that has alopecia areata and have butterfly, you also would look on their face to see whether they have those signs of that on their face. They have some thinning and some shady areas, light areas around their nose.
Mhm.
And so these are also signs that what they have, as well as the study that you may have to go further and let them know, because most of the time, all the time, these are insults that are caused by the boy, that just blew my head.
That happens to me all the time.
I know, you get on a roll and then all of a sudden you get stung.
But you know what, Miss Pearl? Just seeing this alone, the pictures, because as they say, one picture is worth 1,000
Right.
words. I can see how a professional cosmetologist could actually build a little small business
Mhm.
and generate more revenue just by having visuals that
Yes.
they could articulate that
Yes.
information to the client and share it.
I have grown my business because of these pictures. I have grown my business, I'm going to be honest, 100 times more than what I was doing in the beginning. And I used to do other services, as I am a hair loss professional, hair replacement, as well as non-surgical hair replacement. And so when you're doing braiding, weaving, and all those services,
Mhm.
you find that that's an income. It's nice. But this right here, it helps people. Where some of these slides are also talking about traction. So some of the service I did because of the client going from salon to salon and different people and not getting the service that they needed, or the recommendation that they really needed, to tell them maybe this time you shouldn't get this particular style because it's causing traction,
Got you.
which also is going to cause inflammation, and then it's going to cause balding and shedding of hair, tightness, edema, as well as eczema.
So now, do you have a picture of traction alopecia?
I'm not sure if I decided to put a traction alopecia in this slide. No. And the reason why,
What's that?
well, this particular picture is edema, which is inflammation, swelling of the excessive fluid in the scalp. And so it's around the follicle.
Oh, okay.
So it made that area swell. And so when it swelled, it also ends up with irritation and sometimes, and most times, inflammation.
And so now, when you say swelling and inflammation, are you saying that it encapsulizes the follicle?
Yes.
And chokes it off?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It makes it swell. It makes it really tender. So when you're touching your scalp, you feel that it's bumpy, lumpy, and then you feel and touch it, you feel that you can make it kind of like a dent in the scalp. And so that lets you know that it's a buildup of fluid.
Ah, okay. Now, for a person like myself, let's say I wanted to start a business by being able to visualize, but also be able to articulate and show a client, this is what you have and this is the name of it. But I don't have any slides. So do you have anything that's available that I could use?
Yes, we do. We have it on our website again, lapearlbeauty.com. You can go to the website and you can look and see different photos that we have. You could contact us at 215-387-8232. We have different sizes of posters. I recommend.
You have a poster?
Yes, we do. We have handheld, as well as we have little small posters that you can put in a small area. But the handheld is one of the ones I mostly recommend for stylists that don't have their own space.
Gotcha.
They can have it at their station. And while they're at their station, say a client comes in, you can use that poster to show them. I have several salons that have had our posters, and they really, really were successful with being able to identify things with their client and show the client without their client either taking their hat off, taking a wig off, taking the braids out. So when they come in for the consultation, this is what I've been heard. told that this is, and also with us as a trichologist clinic, clients come in, but we have a private room.
Oh, okay.
So in our private room, they could take anything off, and the posters are around there, so they could see. And behind me, we have the posters behind us.
That's one of the. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's one of the posters.
So with those
that you see there, that's a poster. But when you say you have a smaller version of that,
we have an 8.5 by 11.
Oh, okay. So that's the
handheld.
Right, you can put that.
And they all are laminated.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes, because
so I don't have to worry about touching it with my hands.
And you
wet.
don't have to worry about how many people you give it to.
Okay.
So it's not going to mess it up. It's really a heavy laminate, and so we're really successful with that. That the posters, I've had my handheld for since actually before I copyrighted. So all of our work is copyrighted, so nothing can be copied without permission from me, which, why copy it? Why not just purchase the poster? Gotcha. We also have some deals that we have that if you take this webinar, you would have to contact us to find out what those deals are. Did I go ahead of you?
Well, no, not really. You didn't go ahead of me. But I'm fascinated by the information that I, as a person who may not be well equipped, can actually start my business. I'm already a professional hairstylist,
right? But
I can also start a hair practitioner.
Yes.
Where I can say I'm a hair practitioner because I understand.
Practitioner.
Thank you. A hair loss practitioner, whereby I can actually articulate the different types of hair loss.
Yes.
I can recognize it.
Yes.
And now be able to, if I'm not going full-fledged into the business, then I have enough information that I can talk intelligently
and
with
evaluate,
and I can call you up, or I can.
If you have clients that you're not able to serve, for the purpose of finding out what their loss is, you can always send them to us. We will write a report and send it with the client, but we also can come into your salon and do a consultation for your client. You can set up time, space for the client to come in, privacy, a petition, or it could be a day where there's no one else there. And that way you can make it more private for that client. And we would have scheduled times for people to come in. Whatever time you set for those clients, whatever time you would like for me to serve those clients will be available for them.
Well, suppose they do not live in the Philadelphia area.
All you have to do is contact me and make sure I get there.
Oh, okay.
I travel. We have portable systems, so it's no reason for us not to go wherever you are.
Okay. Now, I know that this is going to be a series, and this is just an introduction.
Yes.
And so you'll get deeper into detail.
Yes.
About the different types and the solution.
Yes.
That's mostly recommended. So
it's not good to give a solution before you find out more about
that's
terminology.
That's why that
really
evaluation
not, because it doesn't
is
do you any good to find out that, because some things may be autoimmune, and then there are other things that may be more systemic.
Whoa,
there's so many different.
Wait a minute, autoimmune, then systemic.
Yes. So it would be more than one thing going on. So yes.
So that's why it's more important to make sure that you really get all the information that's necessary, because just like you showed that one slide or 3 slides with alopecia areata.
Yes.
But there was 3 different types.
Yes.
So if you diagnose it improperly, you don't solve the problem. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And see, these are 3 different people with 3 different causes, but most of the time it's androgenetic alopecia. But in order to be able to articulate that to your client, you have to know why they get it, where it comes from. And so sometimes they don't even understand that. But when we teach you how to articulate this information to your client, you'll assure them that you are confident and certified, whether it's certified through paper or certified through knowledge, that you have the knowledge to be able to give them an answer to their problem, what they're coming in with. And sometimes they don't want to say they have a problem, but you'll be able to talk to them.
Got you. Well, I tell you, I'm excited for these next webinars that's coming up, because just this information alone has sparked my interest, and I'm quite sure it has sparked the interest of those that are viewing to want to get more information, because there's a lot of information out there, but you want the right information. If you learn how to do something right, or you get the information right, then you don't have to worry about having the wrong information and talking about something that's totally offline and is not correct. And you can find a lot about that. So, Ms. Pearl, before we end, I think we touched a little bit about, from maybe the first 2 webinars that are coming up, you will get more into how to visually see and detect what kind it is.
Yes.
However, when it comes to the scalp disorders, as well as some of the
hair abnormalities,
or the new phrase you gave me today was hair insults. Hair insults. I like that one. That's going to require more in-depth knowledge, tools, things of this nature.
Yes, it will.
So, but if you didn't want to get involved with the tools, you can still get involved with having the information, so that if they have a client and they wanted to send some information to you, now they're talking the language that you can talk.
Yes.
And that makes it easy for you
to
resolve that for them and get them the right information. And when you get it back to them via email or phone conversation, because on these webinars, you will be able to type in questions that you may have, whereby Ms. Pearl will get back with you via email and give you the information. So it's not something that you're just going to watch and say, oh, that was nice. No, this will be interactive, where you can actually type in a question. And guess what? If you type it in and we see it right there, we may have the time to just answer it for you right then and there. So this is going to be an exciting webinar. I'm excited because I have finally someone who is really knowledgeable and wants to help people help their clients. And that's important. And that's what Ms. Pearl wants to do. So look forward for next webinar, which will be in 2 weeks, which you will also get information on where you can register for it. And again, type us out. If you have any other information, Ms. Pearl, please give them your phone number again.
215-387-8232. And our website is thepearlbeauty.com. Our address is 3857 Lancaster Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19104. We didn't add it to our slides, but it will be there next time.
Now, what's the time frame that they could call?
You could call anytime, leave a message. We'll always retrieve the message. Okay. If you email us at thepearlbeauty@gmail.com, we'll be sure to get back to you.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. There it is. Look for to receive more information in regards to the first, this was an intro webinar, but the first webinar class. And we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great, great day.